Like with what Mayweather did in the boxing scene, Raheem Sterling is doing that within football. And I can't lie, football's getting lit. It's getting to a level where I didn't think football would reach. I think it's amazing. So if you guys didn't know, like I said, follow the Ballers Blueprint. It will keep you up with all the stories behind what these footballers are doing. Like I said, the Ballers Blueprint is the platform to show a footballer's brand, lifestyle, athlete, business, and education. So make sure you go check that out over there. But Raheem Sterling is starting his own football agency. Like, that's mad to see a footballer finally take control of his own career, take control of his own narrative. It's just crazy. It's crazy to see, but it's a blessing at the same time. Because for me, I feel like, again, it's been a big upset within the media, and not just in the media, within the industry of football. If anybody's been a part of it, like in academies or anything like that, you will understand that a lot of the time agents are called sharks. Agencies a lot of the time do go into getting a player to acquire wealth for themselves, and sometimes the welfare of a player isn't really thought about by certain agents. Isn't really thought about. All a lot of agents think about is, can this player, make me money? Can I invest in this player? Can I invest time into this player to build something for me? And I feel like with Raheem Sterling now starting his own football agency and showing that he can take control of his own narrative, I feel like that's now gonna show the up and coming footballer about ownership. We've seen the word ownership in so many different industries, within music, within record labels, and a lot of artists are going independent. Why can't a footballer go independent? It's time for like I said to you, for me, it's time for players to really know their worth, know their influence, and they're starting to recognize it. And what's amazing is, like I said, with Raheem Sterling, a massive advocate, not just for, building his own agency and for players to follow, but we've seen him deal with certain racist issues within the industry. We've seen him be a big advocate for it, a big ambassador for it. He's also got his own social media channel, his own YouTube channel. And now, like I said, the next step is all about getting his own agency and controlling the rest of his career, making decisions for himself. Because I do think, for me, a lot of footballers can get messed up within their careers when it comes to making certain decisions. I know I was one. I know when I was in the academy of West Ham, certain decisions I wish I would have made better. But, not being savvy and understanding that I can take control of my own career, you leave it to other people to do for you. And unfortunately, sometimes things don't work out. Hence why I'm sitting here on this sofa making my own podcast. But to see Raheem Sterling, somebody who's built a career, who's, let's be totally real, putting in some numbers over the last few years. He's won, massive amounts of trophies, been in the media for some amazing things, standing up for things that he believes in. And again, now he's in the realm of being his own business owner. He's taken the Mayweather route, he's taken the money team route, and he's building his agency. So the agency is going to be called 1692. I'm not sure if there's much information out there of the agency as for now, but obviously his contract is coming to an end soon. It's either coming to an end or they're getting ready to negotiate something new, and he's actually going to be taking the front seat on this and controlling his contract negotiations. When have you ever heard of a footballer sitting down on a table, taking control of his contract issues, his contract negotiations? It's amazing, man. Like I said to you, footballers can get really messed up when it comes to agents. Footballers can get really messed up with what management team they put around them. So it's very, very important to see a player of Raheem Sterling's stature now go and create his own agency. Now, I don't know if he's going to be acquiring any other players underneath that. I don't know if more players are going to be underneath his umbrella. However, just the fact that he's got himself, I think is lit. I think is amazing. And I do think there's a lot of footballers that can take inspiration from this. Take inspiration and go and build their own careers. Obviously, we've seen players have agents, players have parents as their agents, or family members, or friends. And sometimes we've seen that doesn't always go too well. But like I said to you, with Raheem Sterling taking 100% control of his own career, I think it's a starting point to see where football is going. Like I said to you, business is a big, big, big thing right now. And if people are not realizing and people not really understanding, just go back to a video that Rio Ferdinand did on Neymar transfer talk. I think it was a few years ago, of course. But in that video, Rio Ferdinand himself Big Rio, who's been a big player for Manchester United, a big player for England, won many trophies, and he even said it. People need to understand that the game of football is a business, plain and simple. So if it is a business, why can't players now create business for themselves? From that, why can't they take the initiative and be the businessman just as well as be the footballer? We are at a stage in football where players can do more than what the game says they're allowed to do. People are allowed to have businesses outside football. People are allowed to build wealth. People are allowed to build, generational wealth. As I said, Raheem Sterling's got kids. He's got kids. Who's better? Who's in a better position to help to control his career than himself? He's in the best position. Obviously, captain's armband for City at the moment at times. Then obviously captaining his country as well within England. Like, come on, man. I think it's time to really give this man his stripes. Like Raheem Sterling deserves to be given his flowers while he's alive, because he's really pushing and innovating what a modern day footballer is. Like, I did a video when I worked at FTBL on how Cristiano Ronaldo changed the game. I'm thinking I might have to do one on how Raheem Sterling's changing the game now. I feel like Raheem Sterling's taking it to a whole different level, So like I said to you, man, I feel like footballers can really take a leaf out of Raheem Sterling's book and really maybe start to look at controlling their own career, just like musicians control their own career now, as in going independent instead of going the record label route. Why can't footballers, instead of going the agency route, let's start controlling their narrative themselves? Now, don't get me wrong, that's going to take some time to build. It's all about building your brand on the pitch first. This is whatever player I work with when it comes to creating social media content, I have to make sure that their brand is built on the pitch first, or it's somewhat there. Or there's somewhat of a consistency of he's playing regular games, or they're putting in some numbers on the board, some goals, some assists, regular appearances, good level, good stage, and all these things. And then obviously the brand's built then on built on the back of that off the pitch, because obviously, as I said, it's very, very hard to build a brand off the pitch as a footballer when you haven't even started the standpoint of building your brand on the pitch. Raheem Sterling's done that. He's done that, and for me, footballers really can take a leaf out of that book and start building it on their own.
Me and my brothers gon' do this ourselves. Got too much pride to be asking for help. I ain't got no time for the bullshit. My niggas is ruthless as well. We gon' be right at your door like the mail. Ay, might take a drive where you chill. They telling me focus on my goals, for all of my brothers is sat in the cell.